Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in on a Thursday. Did not expect that for Hero Academia chapter 243. Guys, before we begin, before I properly begin, the person that I was talking Stain with, I left a reply for your comment. It's on the previous video. Just go check it out if you're watching. But anyway, this video, this chapter. So this is one of those chapters where I don't really have an overall statement aside from I think this was a good enough starting chapter because when you look at the chapter itself, a lot of what it's doing is pretty much just giving you information on how situations are progressing, or it's pretty much premising information. For instance, we got a pretty powerful status update with what's going on with Hawks. And then since Hawks is going to be in the chapter, we know on what kind of level Hawks is operating on. He's being careful with what he does, so we know what Hawk's situation is going into this arc because the chapter showed us, and then we have the premising of what's going on with Izuku and the kids. So overall, what I can ultimately say in terms of that general message is this is a really good setup chapter. It's pretty much setting up it's setting up character situations for the arc, because we don't really know what this arc is going to do, like what's going to be the central problem. We don't know what it's going to do. Even with the villain that we got introduced at the end, I think that guy might just be a joke. He looks like a joke, like he's evoking the name of deity, and that's always cool, but he seems like he's just going to be a joke. So at this point, we really don't know the trajectory for this particular arc, unfortunately. So in terms of setup, it's setting up character situations. I think most of you would agree with that. Oh, before I forget, man, last week's chapter, for some reason, it got way more views than usual. Like these videos usually get 1,000, 2,000 views, but last week's chapter, it's still getting views. And you know what was the weirdest thing? It had no dislikes. That is weird. So if there's no dislikes on this video, please give me some peace of mind and put one dislike. My channel average is like 96% for dislikes. 96% likes and the rest is dislikes. So, give me some peace of mind because I thought something was going on. No one ever agrees with me that much. But yeah, jokes aside, we're going to step through the chapter bit by bit, piece by piece, because there's a lot of little details here that I think work better if we're looking at the pages one by one. The first page I want to talk about is the cover page for Shonen Jump this week. I just want to say, All Might as a moon is... It's weird. It's a weird image, but it was it was a really cute cover page. I actually really like the coloring on it. I do like how Horikoshi does his colors for Hero Academia. Like, it looks nice. Is there any kind of secret message inside of this? I don't know. I really can't say. The next thing that we have another color page in the chapter. This one looks really cool. I like the art style for it. I'm just showing you guys because we don't talk about the art very often, but it's like, this is neat. I tried looking in the background and I don't know if Horikoshi is trying to reference something, but I can't really tell from what's going on. I will just say I like the red overlay. I like the red color. When I look at these couple of characters, I see Kirishima, I see Ashiro. I'm wondering, okay, is this him saying that these guys are going to be involved in the next arc? Because that would be really, really cool. Also, I gotta say, I really like Ochako's outfit for that one. I just noticed, that's a cool outfit. I wish they had more variety in their outfits. But yeah, I wonder if that's a reference to season 4 starting, but then it doesn't make sense. It might just be one of those throwaway pages. It's just interesting. You could even say this page is about ships, because you have the Izuku Ochako ship, you have the new the Bakugo Todoroki ship, and then you have the Kirishima and Mina ship. I don't know, man. It's a cool looking page though. I would love to see what situation got these kids into that kind of thing, but color pages are always not connected to the story. Anyway, we start the chapter proper. Thanks for sticking with me. Oh, this is one of the fastest starts I've had to one of these chapter videos anyway. So the first page is pretty much a premising page. When you look at it, you know what you're getting. It's telling you, okay, it's New Year's Eve. That's good information. Good to know where we are in the timeline. It's telling us that, yeah, the kids got an opportunity to go back home. And I'm not going to lie, Manga Stream has this image of Inko on the page. And when I saw the image of Inko on the thumbnail for Manga Stream, I got terrified. I got really terrified because last week there was someone who was talking about Endeavor being Izuku's father, and when I saw her face, the first thing I thought was like, oh my god, are we about to get some like melodrama of Inko worrying about Izuku going off with Endeavor? Because if I got that, that would have shaken me hardcore. But thankfully, nah, it was just Izuku telling his mom about the horrors that he was going through. So then we go into the next page, which was absolutely cute. I'm going to zoom in on this picture so that we could all go in on it together and what exactly Eri said. Also, excuse me because I have to get closer to the screen because I can't see very well. The dancing and singing were awesome. A child using awesome. That is adorable. Thank you for the fun time. It was really fun. Oh my god, the repetition. Oh, that's such a child. The Canby apple was yummy too. I love the misspelling. Good luck with your quirk, Dekuzan. How is that not the cutest thing ever, man? And she's studying the alphabet and she wrote that for Izuku. Oh, come on. That's a big heart right there, man. Like, how did that not melt your heart? Anyway, as we go towards the bottom of the page, we have a comment about the tears, which I will make a comment about in the next page. And then we had Inko narrating how she always tried to protect Izuku. And that by the time you go into, I think, page 600 Manny's box, they're talking about, for a long time, she doesn't have to feel worried about Izuku. So I really like that image. It's always good that we get Izuku talking with his mother, because this is one of those cases where there's not enough parenting in Shonen Jump. And it's important for kids to know that their parents have their back sometimes, It's important to know that the parents are involved in people's lives, right? I do think that's a really good thing for Hero Academia in general. It's good that the parents have some kind of presence in terms of, like, parents in Shonen Jump. Like, Hero Academia, without a doubt, is one of the better examples of, well, Shonen Jump and Shonen in general could do to have more competent parents. But I feel Hero Academia is a really good step forward. I'm okay with Izuku having parents who aren't special, who just care about him. It's actually really funny that it's the harem and the comedy series that tend to have supportive parents and not the battle series. It's really funny that that's how that kind of works out. Because I'm just like, Naruto, no parents. One Piece, oh, don't even talk about that. Bleach, Ishin is kind of a hands-off parent. Like, yeah, man. Like, I will always advocate for more Inko screen time because the lady deserves it. But that leads me to my next little question here. Someone breaks the windows with their tears, and we all know this is for the funnies. But it's like, author, are you gonna tell us one day that these people are, could we just say these are their quirks? I know you said that they have overactive tear glands, but at the same time, that seems to me like that's a quirk. I mean, it's to the point that whenever someone cries, when Izuku cried and broke the floor back in the sports festival, Mineta noticed the water. Like, Mineta had a comment about it. And then here, Izuku comments that his mom's gonna wet the floor and get it into the other room, and then someone gushes so hard that it leaves the building. I know it's all for the funnies, but it's like, author, come on. You know what would be cool? If Izuku actually has a water control quirk. That would be hilarious, because it wouldn't make sense in the whole situation, but it'd be a funny joke. It'd be a very funny joke. I'd be all into it. That said, I want to know, guys, who do you think broke the window? Do you think it was Inko or do you think it was Izuku? Because Izuku was getting teary-eyed. I think it's Izuku, because from what I've seen of the two of them, Izuku's the one that's broken the floor before. So I think it's Izuku. That said, he should really learn how to weaponize that. If I had tear powers and I could break walls with my tears, guy, I'd carry around pictures of animals dying all the time, because that would get me. I'd be the best supervillain. I'd be like the criminal tearer. I'll figure out my criminal name. I'll figure it out. Anyway, we go to the next page, and I think it's funny that the woman starts off with asking if Izuku has his handkerchief, most likely because, well, he cries so much. But yeah, no, that page was pretty alright. That was a slice of life page. We got to see Cementos there. That was just a nice thing of just him talking with his mother. One thing that we know is that Horikoshi did say that the father is going to be showing up eventually. When you have this kind of like premising with the mom in the sea, and it felt very familial. I really thought this was going to be a moment where we segued into Izuku's father, but we didn't. So maybe Izuku's dad isn't showing up for this arc just because we got no real mention of it here. Anyway, the next section of the chapter is where we go into Hawks. And for this one, I think the purpose of this, like I said before, is just to establish Hawks' place here. And when you think about Hawks' place, yeah, you learn a lot. Because you learn not only where he stands very directly in the new villain association. What is it? The Paranormal Ability Liberation Front? I forget the name. I'm just going to call them the League of Villains just to keep it simple. So we know where he stands with the League of Villains, and we know where he stands with the heroes because we have Skeptic giving us the full communication, and we find out what Skeptic's done. We find out how other people feel about Hawks. We find out that Hawks is not hidden from Skeptic. So this was really interesting because as you're reading this, they don't tell you what exactly is going on till the end of the little sequence. But I was thinking like, oh my god, Hawks, you're being monitored. Did you already know that? Hawks, did you already screw yourself over? But it looks like no, he didn't. It looks like from the very get-go, he told everyone that he was going to be communicating in code. So from the very beginning, Hawks is competent. That's what it's trying to tell you. Hawks is really doing his best here. So it's actually really interesting to see how much Skeptic values him. And it's also really interesting to see to what degree Skeptic is keeping an eye on things. If you guys recall back when we started with the villains versus villain arc, one of the things I said is that these villains that they were presenting us with Skeptic and all of them, like these guys have resources. These are the guys that could make things really difficult. And one of the big criticisms I had in that first video is that ultimately, they weren't going to be used their talents weren't going to come out in the most effective ways when it came to versus the villains. I'm actually very happy with what we're getting now because they're using all their talents towards their cause. This is like the worst type of villain to deal with right now. I'm very happy with how they're going to do this. I'm quite alright sacrificing these villains to Shigaraki if it means that all the villains are going to be acting on a much more infuriating and a much more like despairing level. Man, if Hero Academia gets to a point where these guys have turned public perception on, just turned it around altogether and just made the kids seem like the absolute most terrible people in the world, man, that will be a wild time. It's going to be, if we go into that era of Hero Academia, it's going to be an exciting time. So I'm very happy for this. I hope that the author continues using these guys as overpowered characteristics when it comes to their influence. I hope the author keeps using it to really make life difficult for the heroes. Because again, these kind of heroes, they work best when they're these kind of villains, they work best when they are torturing our heroes. Sorry, I'm getting hero and villain mixed up. I hope I didn't mix it up too often. Anyway, in that page we also... after we go into, I think, page 11 on Jaimini's box, we have Hawks going through the flashback of when he's decided to start using code. And it gives us the big goal here that Hawks wants to find out where the Nomus are being produced. So that's like an end goal that we have with Hawks, to see where exactly the character is trying to get. It's probably going to be important to keep that goal in mind as we go into this arc, because Hawks is on the scene, right? The next page was a surprise. This is the page where Endeavor just has the happy face. And when I saw that face, I was just like, whoa, Endeavor, maybe you actually are changing. Oh my god. And I was really surprised, and I was getting ready like, oh my god, I'm going to get to talk about Endeavor's his development. It's going to be great. And then you go to the next page, and it's like, psych, as if I'd be that friendly, and it's like, shit, you got me. I hate you, you jerk. No, that was pretty funny, man. I really enjoyed that. That was a cool page. That was a cool transition. And I like the tsundere kinda Endeavor. He's kinda soon, he's kinda there. Just saying, like, I only accepted you guys because Shoto asked me to. It was funny. But to be honest, I want to show. I don't know. Is he Sun Yan? Is it Dere? Is there any Dere here? Is it just Sun and Yan? Okay, whatever. Not the point. Not the point. That was funny. That was so funny. And then you have the Bakugo and Endeavor exchange, I think, is also hilarious, between Bakugo berating Endeavor and Endeavor questioning how Shoto can be friends with this person. Man, look, I think it's cute that he says that he thought he told Shoto to bring his friends. I think that's adorable. And I also love the little panel where Bakugo was measuring like weighing the pros and cons. Like top hero weighs more than having to be with Deku and half. So that was pretty cool. I didn't expect that level of comedy. I think that was a very fun time. As we go towards the bottom of that page, though, we have the quick flashback and the talk about, well, Izuku goes through his little quick talk here. I still remember him from back then, you know. He's just pretty much, he's pretty much a tool to just tell us, the viewers, like, yes, Endeavor has changed to some degree. Izuku feels a little bit different about him. After that, we go into the page featuring All Might, Izuku, and Bakugo. The most important things in this page, I think, are, of course, that Izuku believes that Bakugo is super competent. We do find out about the locking and unlocking mechanism that Izuku is using to prevent incidents like the Black Whip incident. Overall, this is just a fun page. I think having these three talking together is just a good time. This is just a good thing in general. They're talking about other random quirks popping out, and I think we might get one new quirk in this arc. I feel like that would be a very fun thing to have going on. It could possibly happen. Anyway, the next page, I think, is really valuable for Bakugo, because this is a similarity that a lot of people have pointed out when it comes to theory crafting, that Bakugo is very similar to Endeavor. Yes, Bakugo does see... Well, we know what Bakugo is about. So I think it's really good that Bakugo is going to see Endeavor, because really, of the three kids, Shoto and Bakugo probably have the most they can learn from Endeavor, whereas Izuku is kind of in a place where he'll learn stuff, but I don't think he'll... Actually, well, that's... The author did establish a character link with Izuku and Endeavor once Izuku's talking about his fear of Endeavor. So, okay, you know what? I'll revise that. I think all three people can really get something of value from him, like something deeply of value, something that shakes them to the core of their character. But for... I think Bakugo, this has been a long time coming, and I think this is a good opportunity. I think it's absolutely great that we got to put these two characters together, because Bakugo's trajectory might adjust itself a little bit if he sees what Endeavor is right now. Now, the last thing on this page that I think is really worthwhile is that Endeavor says that Shoto is not me. And that's the link there with Izuku and Endeavor. I think this one I think is up to your interpretation, and I think this is one of those cases where I would like to see the Viz Media translation. But to me, this seems like Endeavor is acknowledging that Shoto was able to get along with what is effectively All Might. Because we have to remember that to Endeavor, Izuku represents All Might. To Shoto, Izuku represents All Might. He is like, if we were talking about this fight traversing itself through the generations, then there is that significance there. So I think the big thing here is I think this is how it's going. I think Endeavor has recognized that Shoto was able to overcome the All Might gap. Like, he was able to become friendly with the All Might kind of character that ultimately Endeavor was not able to. Or it could also be just another statement about, oh, Shoto was able to make friends. I do want to believe that there is I do want to believe that All Might's playing a factor in that line, but it could be a lighter statement. Chances are we'll get the proper exposition on this later. Chances are Endeavor and Izuku will have a heart-to-heart about what Endeavor sees Izuku as. Anyway, the next page is a transitionary page. All of a sudden, Endeavor hears something, and it's actually really interesting. Because from the way that this page is constructed, it looks like Endeavor jumped into action before anyone else even noticed. So I'll zoom in on this page. It's page 17. This is the shot of the trees. Notice how there's like those little special, there's like little black dots there. I think when you look at the full page, what it's saying is Endeavor heard the slightest of a distortion. He heard it, and then he jumped into action. And then you have the panel of the sound actually being more noticeable. So that's just to tell you that Endeavor has honed hero senses. He's just ready for action. To which we go into the next page, and you have Endeavor raising the ante, and then you have the kids raising the ante, following behind him. He uses the rhetoric like, you guys are gonna have to watch from behind, so it's up to you to keep up with me. And the kids are like, yeah, okay, we're right behind you. Endeavor doesn't realize that he got the three most competent characters in Class 1A. He doesn't yet realize this, but he'll soon realize that he has the three most competent characters in Class 1A. Actually, is there anyone more competent than those three? The only other people that can really approach their levels of competency, I think, are Kirishima, maybe Ochako and Suyu due to combat experience. I don't want to. Yeah, it's well. Look, like I don't think any of us are gonna argue in terms of level of power and competency. Like Endeavor got the 3 most competent people in Class 1A. He is like the superstars of Class 1A. And then we go into the next page, which is the introduction of who's causing the disturbance. So I don't want to get my hopes up about this guy, because this guy might just be a 1-page villain, or like, you know, a 1-chapter villain. Like, he talks about how he's obtained a revelation from the heavens. The smile of Hades shines wryly on thee, and it's like, all right, sure, that's cool rhetoric. I like your costume. I think it's neat. I like the idea that you're like this kind of wise man. I wonder if he actually obtained a revelation from the heavens, or if he's just crazy, because you never know. Villains are crazy, right? He might have obtained... if he has legitimate psychic powers and he saw a vision of the future, then all right. But the way that he's portrayed, he just seems like a 1-note villain, which is unfortunate. And then you have Hawks showing off that he's on the scene there. And so in this page, we get the worst thing about the chapter. That is that there's no Hero Academia next week. I'm sad, man. Nah, I'm excited, man. Like, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen more at a faster rate. But yeah, that's overall chapter 243. I think it was a really fun time. I really enjoyed the chapter for what it is. I think it's a good start of an arc. I think it's a good... I think it showed us where the characters are in really nice ways. And I'm ultimately very excited to see where we go here. Like I said, I don't think the trajectory has been set for this arc yet. So we'll have to see where exactly we end up here. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go now. Going to go edit the video. Probably take me like 30 minutes, but thanks for watching. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day. Also, it got darker in real time. Creepy, right? All right, see ya, guys.